What's up, everybody? We are previewing UFC Vegas 45 tonight. Derrick Lewis versus Chris Daukaus. Dustin Poirier and Nate Diaz, are they going to be fighting? And is Conor McGregor going to get the next 155-pound title shot? We're back. We're here. We're locking it down. We're giving you winners. It's Ringside Report MMA. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Yeah. AJ, are you here?
I'm here, man.
Oh, hey, AJ.
Steen.
Wow, we had to...
Born in the USA now.
We started the show without you, AJ.
I know, man. I had a little technical difficulties there.
Yeah.
But I'm okay now. I'm okay.
Freddie and I were waiting around. We're talking to each other, wondering, where's AJ? Is AJ coming? Is AJ going to be on the show? And Fred said, yeah, start the 5-minute timer, and hopefully AJ will show
AJ will
up.
be there.
And there you are.
Yeah,
AJ's here.
there, man. I was getting my gear ready for the Springsteen set, man, and I'm rocking, man. Rocking in the USA, man. Nothing like Bruce, man. Did you see what the hell this guy did today?
No.
Listen, man, it makes you wonder, why go to school, man? Why do all that shit? Just become a musician, play a couple of good songs, put on a gimmick like I have right now, and the guy's worth $500 million today, man. Brucey is worth $500 million. He sold all his album. All his album is gone, man.
What?
Is that nuts or what?
You understood the story, and what you're relaying to me isn't a story.
I think he's saying he sold the rights to, he sold his catalog.
His songs, man.
Is that what you're saying?
Pepsi's going to be talking about Born in the USA. Ford is going to be talking about, whatever about Bruce's songs. Dude, he sold, man. You sold out, man. You're gone. No more rights to your songs.
I mean, ideally, we'd all be like Bruce Springsteen and sing a couple songs about the heartland of America and become multi-millionaires, but that's just not reality for most of us, AJ. I doubt you could write a good song that anyone would want to hear.
What? Is that a challenge, bud? Of course I could write a good song. Look at this song, Born Down in a Dead Man's Town.
And
the first kick I took was when I hit the ground.
Springsteen,
big deal.
Since he's talking about Bruce Springsteen and you guys love The Sopranos, I remember on that soundtrack there was that song called Mr. State Trooper. I love that song. That's a great Bruce Springsteen song. Go listen
to it. The Boss, man.
I don't know about that.
Dave doesn't know The Boss. That's why he's not into it, man.
I'm telling you.
No.
If it was like the Island Boys, maybe you'll get into it.
Yeah, I'm not like a big Bruce Springsteen fan. Yeah.
Look, I even got the kerchief going, man.
Is that what you're doing? Is that your gimmick tonight, AJ? You're doing like a Bruce Springsteen
tribute, man.
With
$500 million.
shirt?
Ching, ching, ching. Next owner of the UFC, Bruce Springsteen, man.
I don't think so. This is
got my
strange.
cowboy shirt
$500 million ain't enough.
For the UFC, for sure it is, man. He's got to put in like maybe 30, 40, 50 mil, I guarantee you, if he doesn't already have. Because I know a lot of guys in Hollywood actually have shares in the UFC. I think Mark Wahlberg has a share. I don't know what his share is, but he does have a share in the UFC. A lot of Hollywood actors, man. And now it'll probably be Bruce, the almighty Bruce. You never know, but I'm just saying, it's very possible. What are you going to do with all that money? He's almost like 70 years old. How much more time do you got left? No offense to anybody over 70, but seriously, come on.
You're almost there.
Take it easy there, David Simon.
I mean, take it easy on
Not
yourself.
that far.
No.
Well, what do you think I'm doing these shticks for, man?
I don't know.
How much more can I go?
What? Yeah.
Hey, listen, first of all, we're not joking with the shticks. Today, if most people are listening, we want to thank all the hockey fans that are tuning in because the game got canceled. Well, it's not canceled, but the fans drove home. So, I like to welcome all the Montreal Canadian hockey fans and all the rest of Quebec that's going through another ridiculous quarantine procedure. I mean, it's a disaster, dude.
Can you give the right terminology for things? Because nobody's going into quarantine. Do you know what quarantine is?
Again.
It's not.
Well,
no,
listen,
first of all, there's a difference between lockdown and quarantine. Lockdown and quarantine are two different things, AJ. You need to get that settled in your mind.
No. He says that it's a possibility. Anything could change in the weeks to come, man. I'm telling you.
But quarantine only happens if you're sick. Or you know someone that's sick and you quarantine. They quarantine. Quarantining is when someone is sick and they're put in a room somewhere and you stay there, quarantine.
That's what I said.
No, you're saying we
They're
might
not
all
saying
have
that.
to be in quarantine, which is not
Well,
what is
lockdown,
happening.
quarantine,
It's
same bullshit.
No, it's not.
Well,
That's what I'm
actually,
trying to
Dave,
explain
if
to
you're in
you.
contact with somebody, if you're in contact with someone, you're supposed to quarantine also. So
Yeah,
AJ
Sure.
might be a little bit right.
yeah, but no,
You're
because
not
AJ's
sick. You've just been in contact.
Born in the
I'm just trying to
USA now.
explain the difference between quarantine and lockdown to AJ, and
I
he's
know.
just
No, I listen-
not getting it.
Freddie got it. Freddie got it. Freddie, explain to Dave what we were trying to say. But listen, man, either or, it sucks, man. It sucks again. We're down to 10 for a family gathering. The Bell Center is completely empty with just skating millionaires going at it.
Yeah. So for those
it's
that
just-
don't know and don't live in the province of Quebec, the premier Francois Lego said
Lego.
that the Lego guy, the Lego man there, he said nah, you got 50% in all the places, all the venues, 50% capacity now. Basically shutting a lot of things down. Restaurants have to have 50% capacity. It was weird. There's a hockey game tonight. The Canadians were supposed to have a packed Bell Center tonight, but they said no fans tonight, but they are saying 50% capacity for things like hockey games, so I don't really understand what the deal is.
So how do they decide which, like, let's say they sold 100% of the tickets,
Right.
who goes and who doesn't go? It's a random one?
Exactly,
It's
Freddie.
like, hey, here.
I don't know.
What is it, man?
I don't know how
It
that
might
works.
be.
I have tickets for the WWE in a couple of weeks, and I'm wondering that same
Sell
question
them.
myself. Is the WWE going to cancel the event altogether and postpone it? Maybe just cancel it? I have no idea what's going to happen with that WWE show. It's supposed to be December 30th. I was going to bring my son to his first ever WWE show, and now they're saying, oh, well,
For real?
only yeah. And now they're saying, oh, only 50% capacity. And so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm not
Not gonna
happy
happen,
about it.
man.
I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy with the
No, I mean-
mismanagement of this thing the whole way through, and I don't
Look,
like
man,
it.
it's completely nuts. No, and I agree with you, man. It's a shame. And Freddie had a point there. Like, who's going to be able to go out of the 50% out of 100% capacity sold?
Who knows?
So it's going to be what? So you have 2 tickets
I think
and one
probably-
person out of your 2 doesn't go? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
I think the most logical thing to do would be to refund all the tickets and then do another on sale and sell, only 50%. I think that makes the most sense. You just refund everybody and then put new sets of tickets on sale with social distancing and whatever, which I think is most likely, but I don't know what the situation is. There's been zero word as to what's happening with tickets and shows that have already been sold. No word.
Man, it's insane, man. It's insane. And you know what? I don't know how they don't get it right. I mean, like, the UFC, man, like, has always got it right. No matter what, through the pandemic, and here we are again into the what strain is this now, Freddie? What's it called? The Omnitron, the Tron? I have no idea what it is. But what I'm saying is
Omicron.
that Omicron,
Omicrons.
and God knows what it's going to be next. But, the UFC, man, has never stopped. Fights kept going.
That's right.
They had capacity crowds of 30. How many? It was 18,000 last
Dana
weekend, if I'm not
White
mistaken.
for president of the world.
He's got it.
That's right.
You're right, man.
Dana's the
I
best.
agree with that, man.
Dana has been
Vote Dana.
at the forefront of this thing since the beginning. I am now trusting the medical advice of Joe Rogan and Joe Rogan only.
Whoa.
Just like Dana.
Wow, man.
I'm doing a full 180. I'm doing a total turn. I'm going the other way
Wow.
now, and I'm just going to
That's
listen
big,
to
man.
Joe Rogan for everything. Forget it. I've given
Man,
up.
man.
I've given up. I can't listen to the normal voices anymore because they're annoying me. I'm sick of them. I'm only going to listen to Joe Rogan for all my medical advice from here on in. Fuck it.
Dude, I'm shocked, man. I'm shocked, man, because last
Fuck
week,
it.
all you did was, like, you
I've
dissed
given
Joe.
up.
You were like, don't give
No,
don't give
that
medical advice from Dr.
That was
Joe.
2 weeks ago.
And-
That was 2 weeks ago. I was saying that Joe Rogan shouldn't be a medical authority, but at this point, I've given up. So I'm giving in to Joe Rogan. He could do that. 2 weeks ago, I said that. Last week, AJ, I spent most of the show if you're not remembering, telling you about how Juliana
yeah.
Pena was going to beat Amanda Nunes. Let's not forget about that. You knew it was going to come up. I was going to bring it up. Last week, most of the show, I was like, hey, well, Juliana's going to win, guys. And you're like, nah, you're crazy. I was like, I think she's going to win. That was last week.
Man.
She won.
You
Props to
pulled
her,
it
man.
up.
Props to her.
Man,
props to
props
you.
to her. Props to Dave and the props to everybody that bet with Dave's picks, because whoever went with Dave, and I mean, I was saying this to everyone. I'm like, you know, it's not only that like people are coming out of the bandwagon now saying, oh, I pick Pena. That's all bullshit, because for weeks no one was going with Pena. And I'm talking about you guys, the guys in media, the guys in like sports betting, and the rest of you analysts. You guys said shit. There was only one guy, and I was against him too. On my own show, I was against Dave. We were calling him loco and everything. There was only one guy that weeks ago said, go with Pena. And if you went with Dave's picks weeks ago with the odds that were out, you made some pretty damn good money. And that's the thing. So now all these guys are like, oh, you know, I did call Pena. You called shit, bud, because I know I follow everybody. And there was, man, hardly anyone that went with Pena on this one.
I didn't see anybody saying it other than me. I wasn't looking
that's it. That's what I'm trying to get at you.
I don't know.
There was like one other guy that was saying it from a small show, and you know what? Other than that, man, but that was just leading up to it. You were calling it weeks ago, man, to the point where you made some big announcements, and I was like, you're completely nuts or whatnot. But that's the difference. I mean, you know, you saw something that everybody else didn't see. I didn't see it. There was no reason for anyone to believe you would be right after the first round. The first round with Amanda was a complete domination to what I thought was 10-8 round. And to be honest, she was so dominant that she was smiling and laughing at the camera. Am I not right, Dave?
Yeah. She looked confident after the first round. And then she went in the second round. It was a wild exchange, and Juliana Pena came out on top. They're going to do it again, guys. The rematch is on. It's going to happen. It's going to be for the 135-pound championship. Pena, again, is opening as the underdog. Not as big an underdog as last time, but that's the fight that they're going to do again. Pena and Amanda Nunes, and I'm excited for it for one reason and one reason only. Juliana Pena's the underdog. I'm going to make more money off Juliana Pena beating Amanda Nunes. Like, I can't believe that they're letting me do this. It almost feels like a...
She ain't gonna win twice.
Oh, she's going to win twice, Fred. She's going to beat her again. She's going to beat the shit out of her. I'm seeing plus 700 now for a rematch.
Listen, man, whatever Dave says...
But I'm also seeing plus 270. Pena plus 270, Nunes minus 330. These are early odds. But, I mean, if you can get her at plus 700 right now, fucking bet it.
Go for it, man.
She's going to win again.
And you know what? Listen, man.
I mean, plus 700, I'd take a chance for sure.
No, absolutely.
I don't think she will win. I'm going to go...
Oh, Fred, not again.
I'm going to go with...
No, Fred, don't do it.
Yeah, because... Look, man, I'm just going to say I was disappointed with how Amanda fought in the second round. She decided to trade punch for punch. And you could see, like, in her face, she was smiling, but she was being affected by those punches, man. Those punches hurt. Those punches made her tired, I think, all those punches that she absorbed. And in the end, she ended up tapping. Not a great second round, and great resiliency by Juliana Pena, but I feel with a better strategy, Amanda has that win, man. Amanda should have won that fight.
Well,
that was a fluke.
Freddie, look. Freddie, no, I don't know if there was a fluke, man, because the bottom line is this, is that you have that better strategy coming in. You're Amanda Nunes. You fought everybody, man. You fought Cyborg. And the thing is that you're right. She went toe-to-toe with her in the second round, which was absolutely didn't make any sense. And the thing that disturbed me the most, as I was telling Dave while we were doing the live watch-along, is that she was like in her fighting stance, she would throw a left, and then she would sort of slide in and go upright. Her body was literally like stiff, straight up as a board. And I'm like, what the hell is she doing? It's like you're just waiting to get picked like to the face. It was crazy. So she would throw some combinations and come up and like literally straighten up. Her body was straight. And I'm like, something is not right. And that's what exactly happened, where she got clipped. And then she ended up on the ground. And to be honest, even on the ground with the choke, it didn't even look like it was that deep, in my opinion. It was just like, she just completely...
She was tired.
She was done.
She fell apart.
She fell apart, and then that's why I'm going to go with Dave on this one. And I'm going to listen to Dave on this one.
Thank
if
you.
he's going with Pena, I'm going to go with Dave on this one with Pena because for some reason, I feel that Pena knows now that she could just take her down and she can end the fight. And I really, and you know what? She didn't go down. It's not like Amanda didn't throw some good shots.
She didn't take her down in the first round. Amanda brought it to the ground.
She did, but she was able to survive, and that's the thing. She wasn't able to knock out Pena. She wasn't able to submit Pena. She wasn't able to take total control of ground and pound. Even though she looked dominated, the thing is that she couldn't close Pena out on that first round. And that's what was like impressive. Going into the second round, Pena was like she survived that round and she looked fresh, good, and she just closed Amanda. And that's the thing is that if they're going to go back to the ground, man, I think Pena's going to be able to submit her again.
Yep.
Maybe not knock her out, which she came close to in the second round, Dave. She threw some nice punches that Amanda got startled.
Yep.
But like I said, her defensive stats was like so weird, man, that straight up, if you look at the video footage or rewatch the fight, you'll see what I'm talking about, her body going straight up. It was just like so amateurish that I just don't know what the hell was on in her mind. Maybe she was hurt. We don't know.
I think a lot of it was exhaustion. I think she was really tired. I think she tried really hard to finish Juliana in the first and wasn't able to do it, so she got tired. But I think another part of it is, she's tired and the pressure that Juliana was putting on her. Juliana just kept coming forward and throwing punches, and she's got an awkward style of throwing punches too, and I think it put Amanda off balance. And she was just hurt and tired and beat. And I don't think that it's just a matter of, hey, it was Juliana fighting and Amanda got tired. And I think Amanda at 135 is done. I think she's done at 135. So? Yeah. I think she was fighting at 145 for too long. I don't think you can move up and down in weight successfully for a long period of time, especially at the very highest levels. She took 2 years away from defending at 135. She's always been a big 135. And at this point in her career, at this age, she's 33. She'll be 34 when they fight. I don't think Amanda has it anymore. I think there's something that was missing. I think maybe part of it is a lack of motivation. I think that she was not motivated. I think that you look at her past couple of fights, especially the fight that I pointed to before the Pena fight, the Felicia Spencer fight. She beats Felicia Spencer over 5 rounds. Now that is somebody in 2020 that had Amanda fought in 2018, 2017, I think she finishes. So the fact that she had that 5-rounder with Felicia Spencer, I haven't really seen Amanda look like Amanda since the Holly Holm fight in 2019. She had a pretty even fight with Germaine de Randamie. She had a, one-sided performance against Spencer, but never really got into the second gear. She finished Megan Anderson, but come on. Megan Anderson isn't in the UFC anymore. I don't even know if she fights. And then she had the Juliana Pena fight. I think there was a steady decline in Amanda, and I don't think that this was like a blip on the radar. I don't think this is a fluke like Fred says. I think this is kind of a, it's the end. Everybody has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Everybody has the peak, and once you hit the peak, and then what happens when you go to the peak? You start going downhill. I think this is a downhill slide. I could see Amanda losing a couple fights in a row after this. She'll lose to Pena again, and then who knows? Depends on the matchup, but I think it's going to be a tough road ahead for Amanda Nunes. I think she is the greatest of all time, but, just like Anderson Silva and many greatest of all time before her, I mean, Ronda Rousey was smashing through everybody, and then she got beat, and then she couldn't win again, and then she stopped fighting. It happens.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't think Amanda is in that category. I'm not saying maybe Juliana beats her again, but to say that she's just gonna go downhill like Amanda's still she's one of the top fighters in the female division. Yeah. I'll tell you what, maybe you're right about
on Saturday night. How did that striking look on Saturday night?
In round 1.
Yeah, on the ground she looked all right.
Terrible.
But round 2 she looked really bad. Really bad.
Yeah,
that
was shocking.
She went in and just traded.
No. but
punch
you're
for
looking
punch.
at Penna
But
that
to
is
say
not
that
known
she's
for her
finished,
striking.
man, come on, man.
Yeah, but she went strike. She didn't look like anyone who had striking experience in that second round, and she's going up against Penna, who had like literally non-comparable striking to Amanda Nunes, and she actually did quite well. Like, it was a very confusing second round, and to me, like, really looking at this, I was hoping that Amanda would win because I see Kyla Harrison out in the crowd. I'm thinking, this is it, man. The super fight is gonna happen. This girl's gonna come, but now that's pretty much over. And if Kyla comes into this division at
Kayla.
135, that's what I said, Dave.
No, you said
And-
Kyla.
and-
Her name's Kayla.
That's exactly what I said.
Pronounce
it's
it
Kyla.
right.
So
Kayla.
it's Kyla.
It's Kayla.
No, Dave. Regardless, Kyla
K-A-Y.
is like,
LA.
she's going to come into this division, man, and she's going to, like, you know what? I think she'll end up becoming champion. And it's a shame because I would have loved to see, like, Amanda fighting her. But who knows?
Of
I don't
what
think that's going to
division?
happen anytime.
What division?
At 135.
Are you
At
crazy?
135.
Do you know who? See, first of all, you don't know how to pronounce her name. Second of all, you don't know what weight she even fights at. She can't make 135.
She's supposed to be fighting. Apparently, that's what she's supposed to be going at, 135, man.
145.
Yes, sir.
145.
No.
145.
No, she was supposed to be going at 135.
Nope.
That's why she was in the crowd for
Wrong
that fight,
again.
dude.
She
I'm
fights at
telling you.
155.
No, I'm right.
She's a 155er. She's the PFL
Yeah, in
155-pound champion. It's not boxing, it's
Yeah.
MMA. She's a judoka.
I know.
She's not a boxer. What are you
Listen,
talking
I'm gonna
about? Do
tell-
you know who
listen,
you're talking
I'm gonna
about?
sorry.
Do you know
Listen,
who
I'm gonna
Kayla
tell you
Harrison
something.
is? Or are you
Listen,
just
I'm gonna
making
tell you
shit
one
up
thing.
again?
No. I'm telling you one thing. She was in the crowd for a reason there, and that's
She was
why
in the
they
crowd
were
for a reason,
showcasing
so
her
AJ could maybe
at
pretend to know her
135.
name.
That's what. No.
145. 145 against Amanda for her belt there. 145. She can't make
Listen,
135.
even if she goes at 145, which I believe word had it that she was going down to 135 for
No
for,
word. Word in your mind that you made up. 145. She can't
Yeah.
make 135. She fights at
How do you know, man?
155 because I've heard her in interviews say, I don't know, 145 might be tough to make. You think that 135 will be easier?
No, not at all. We
What are
can
you
say that
talking
with Cody
about?
and all the rest of them. But I'm
145.
gonna
There's
tell
a
you
division
something.
there. There's a championship
I
there.
know,
And the
but
fight
listen, I'm
with
just telling
Amanda
you what
could
I heard,
still
man.
happen at 145. Well, you heard wrong.
Don't
You
bite me.
heard wrong. You didn't hear it.
Maybe you're wrong.
AJ,
Listen, maybe you're
I'm
wrong,
not.
man.
I'm not.
Maybe it's Dave like wanting to. This is AJ's
not.
facts. That's all I can say.
No, I'm
but
not.
I'm going to tell you. That's what I heard. She was in the crowd. She was cheering. I think it was going to 135 if that fight would ever happen. Listen, man. That's it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, then you're wrong, bud. I'm just saying, bud. Don't get mad at me, man. Don't get mad at
You're wrong,
Bruce.
man.
Bruce knows. 500 million, man.
Fred says you're wrong.
Freddie is.
She's way too
He
big
doesn't
for
know.
135.
Yeah.
Plus, boxers don't cut weight like MMA people. I'm not even
She's
sure
not a boxer.
145
No,
was
she's not
possible.
boxing.
She's a
yeah.
judoka. She's an Olympic judoka.
Yeah, sorry,
Judo.
I'm mistaking her with the other. But yeah,
Clarissa Shields.
I don't even know if.
Oh, Clarissa Shields. That's
Yeah, exactly.
That's a
I don't
different
even know if
story, too.
145 is a possibility because she fought at 155, like you say.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyways, the only thing you're right about this week, Dave, is getting Penna right.
Everything. It's everything.
That's about it.
I'm right about everything so
No.
far. I was right about the
You're right. You
135,
got Penna right.
145 thing. I was right about Kayla
No,
Harrison,
you're wrong
not
about
Kyla.
Poirier. It's Kyla, first of all. But you can say it whatever you want. I say it the way it's said. You know what I'm going to say.
No.
The real way.
Thank you, Antoinette, for becoming a member once again. I guess she was a member, but maybe her membership ran out and it didn't automatically
What?
renew.
Already?
I don't know. It didn't renew automatically, so she had to rejoin. So thank you, Antoinette. Shout out to Angelo on the chat as well. Hello, Grimskull.
Grimskull.
Shout out to Grimskull.
Is it a yearly membership?
I think it's a monthly thing. It's a monthly membership. I don't know why Antoinette had to.
That makes sense.
I don't know if it just rolls over every month. Maybe you have to say yes, renew every month or something. I'm not really sure how it works. But thank you.
Maybe
Shout
she
out
said-
to Brooklyn Lizard and Lauren Cronish. So yeah, Antoinette, I don't know why you had to renew it, but thank you for doing so.
But thanks for renewing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out
Don't
to
come around
Angelo.
and cancel because we suck or anything.
Well, I mean, only AJ sucks. Why would she cancel? Me and Fred are the
Whoa,
best.
now you're gonna listen, man. I called Oliveira, man.
Yeah.
There's a graphic that proves it.
Yeah, but then you change your mind.
Sorry,
didn't you?
bud. I'm right. I don't recall.
Yeah,
You
did.
flip-flopped. Good job, AJ.
Yeah.
We're going to give you some picks
No,
for the
no, no,
Derrick
no, no.
Lewis, Chris Daukaus
That's gonna be
UFC
crazy.
on Saturday. Final UFC of the year, guys. Last one of the year.
Crazy, eh? Man, it seems just like yesterday with that we were watching Connor like coming into the new year and beating Cowboy and like starting off so well, man. It's just crazy, man. Time flew by this year, and now we're still back into like crazy shit with this COVID thing and whatever it's called, the Tron disease or whatever it is now. It's just crazy, man. Here we go, another year, man. But a great year for UFC, man. It's been fantastic.
The Cowboy fight was last year.
It was the beginning of this year, bud.
No, it was last year. Beginning of this
What are
year,
you
he
on
fought
crack?
Poirier.
No, he fought Poirier after, bud.
What year? Yeah, well, he fought Poirier after Cerrone, but he fought Cerrone in January 2020. What are you talking about?
I'm telling you, man.
Another
Are you
AJ
sure
fight.
about that? If that is,
Yeah. Now I'm looking at it on
that
Wikipedia
shows you,
right
man.
now.
Yeah, you're
That
right
shows you
because
what?
it was
I love
2020
your-
and then he started with Poirier. Yeah, you're right, man. It just goes to show you how confusing this COVID shit is, man. You're right. You're right. It just
Yeah, I know.
it's crazy, man.
See, it's Connor's
Like-
record. See?
Wow, man. Yeah, it was the beginning with Poirier, so he started off not too good.
Yeah.
2020 was a great year for Connor.
I feel like I'm the one that called Poirier by submission, even though the graphic had me by decision. I clearly said
Yeah,
during the
you did.
broadcast that
Yeah,
I
you
wanted
had
to go with
Oliveira.
submission.
Freddie did pick Oliveira, so
Yeah,
that was
actually, yeah.
yes, not Poirier. Oliveira.
I got Poirier on my mind because I was talking about him and Nate Diaz that I wanted to mention. And if I'm Nate, I want that fight. That fight makes a lot of sense for Nate, especially if it happens quick. If I'm Poirier, man, Poirier maybe needs to take a little time off, man. Don't jump into another fight that quick. If you end up losing to Nate Diaz, man, on a quick turnaround, that's not going to help your career, I think. You're going to make money because Poirier versus Nate is going to sell a lot of pay-per-views. I feel they're both stars, especially Nate. But I think it makes more sense for Nate. And it's a winnable fight for Nate, and he's on his last fight of his contract. I could see really why Nate would want this fight. If I'm Nate Diaz, I keep pushing for that. I try to bait Poirier in.
Poirier seems like he wants it.
Yeah, but it's a quick turnaround, man. Like I think it'd be a great matchup for him also, but I just think after this loss, he seemed very disappointed and all, man. Maybe take a little time just to relax, put everything in perspective. You're still one of the elite fighters in the division. You don't have to rush into anything. I'm just saying, if I'm Nate Diaz, now is the time I want to fight Poirier. Like, if Poirier really wants to fight in 6 weeks or whatever they're talking about, go for it, Nate. Jump on that.
If you were Dustin or Nate and the UFC came to you and said, yeah, that Poirier or that Nate Diaz fight is all well and good, but wouldn't you rather fight Conor McGregor? Don't you think they would have to take
Big
that
time.
instead?
If you're Poirier?
Man, big time, man.
Or Nate?
Yes, of course. Yes, probably. But the thing is, with Nate, he's on his last UFC contract fight. So I doubt the UFC gives him McGregor. I even doubt they give him Poirier. They'd like to feed Nate to a young
Khamzat.
lion that could make a name off of him,
Yeah.
or anybody else. Like and they don't want Nate to go away with a big win. Like, let's say Nate beats Conor or Nate beats Poirier, and then he's a free agent. He just defeated one of the top guys. So I don't see them giving him those fights, but hey, if the Poirier fight is available, jump on it. As far as Conor, man, he talks a lot of shit, man, but is he ready to fight really soon? Or, like, we'll see, man. Conor just likes to talk, man. I'll watch Conor whenever he comes back, but I don't put too much stock in what he says.
Thank you, Patrick C. Hamilton, dropping the super chat. You are the super chat leader of the night. Patrick went with Team Dave. He put some money on Juliana Pena, which was pretty cool. I was really happy that Patrick put some money on my pick and won. He cashed in on Saturday. I love when my picks make money for dedicated members of the Ringside Report universe like Patrick C. Hamilton. That's really nice. It's nice to see. Makes me happy. And Patrick says, I think my luck has run out for a bit, waiting for 270. That might not be a bad idea, Patrick, because I've got a great pick for you for UFC 270. You can make it right now. You could throw money down right now over at bet99.com, I think. I don't know if they have that fight up yet. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm not seeing it. Let's see. UFC.
Which one?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You could do it. You
No.
could do it. Yeah.
Can
right
you?
now. Oh, baby. Patrick, right now, Cyril Gann is a slight underdog for UFC 270.
What?
Minus 110. I mean, take it easy, not
For
like
real?
crazy.
Oh.
Minus 110. Francis Ngannou minus 112. Basically a pick'em fight. And over at bet99.com, the old 50 buckaroos on Cyril Gann almost doubles your money for 95.45.
Dave, your voice, man, it's breaking up.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
you.
That's you,
Sounds
actually,
correct for
AJ.
me.
Yeah, no, that's you. You froze. AJ? AJ! AJ's frozen. I like when he tells me my voice is breaking up. AJ, are you still there? AJ froze
Dave,
out. Yeah,
Freddie, is Dave's voice breaking up?
No.
It's you.
It's you, AJ.
It's all on
Disconnect.
you.
Come back.
And come back, yeah.
There we go.
You should always assume it's you first.
Yeah, it's always AJ. AJ,
It's not
disconnect
me,
and
it's
come
you.
back. Are
It's
you
not
still
you,
there?
It's me.
Can you hear us, AJ?
See,
Hold on. Let's see if AJ's still. AJ. AJ. Can you hear us?
What the hell happened, man?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Okay, he's like messed up
Yes.
again. He's having AJ problems. Typical. AJ, disconnect and come back. AJ, disconnect and come back to the show. So Cyril Gann, $50 on Cyril Gann gets you $95.45. Like, that seems to be the move, right? Cyril is the play
yeah,
for
it's
that
almost
one.
a pick 'em fight.
Yeah.
I would think so. With that said, man, remember, like, Ngannou looked better in that second fight against Stipe, man, and he knocked him out, man. Ngannou has the power to knock anybody out, so I'm not going to count him out. But, yeah, I got Cyril in that fight. I feel he's the better technical fighter. But, hey, Ngannou has the type of power that it could end at any moment, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to count him out.
But so does Derrick Lewis, you know? And Cyril handled him quite
Yeah,
nicely.
I feel Ngannou's better than Derrick Lewis.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's not yeah, they have finishing power. Ngannou's a better athlete, better fighter, period, than Derrick Lewis. Even though Lewis has a win against him, but
I just see Cyril Gann as, like you said, the better technical striker, right? So I think that Cyril right now at even money is very good value. So, Patrick, that's definitely a big play we're looking at for UFC 270. I've got a couple of picks for you for the final UFC event of the year here coming up on Saturday. We're also going to be doing a watch-along on Saturday, not for the UFC, but for the Tyron Woodley-Jake Paul fight. They're boxing again. This was supposed to be Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul, but instead, Woodley stepping in after Fury, I think, had an injury. So it'll be Woodley versus Paul, the rematch. Paul winning the first fight by split decision. Woodley did put Paul on the ropes. He looked like he had him hurt at a moment during the fight, but it was mostly all Woodley and Paul. It was all Paul over Woodley. It was, not the most impressive performance from Tyron Woodley. Woodley's going to come in as the underdog as well for this fight, which makes a lot of sense to me. I don't really believe in Woodley's chances of looking better in this fight. The last one was not that long ago. I don't see much of a difference in this one. AJ is hell-bent on us doing a watch-along for that one, so that'll happen.
yeah, I got Paul also winning, mostly because he's been preparing for another fight, and Woodley being a last-minute replacement. You just lost the previous fight. Am I that you're gonna be better? Like have you been practicing to get a better boxer? Because the last fight you got outclassed by Jake Paul. So I don't see any reason why Woodley would be better this time, unless maybe he gets a little more aggressive. But I don't think that's a winning situation for him either, man. He's not that good of a boxer. So if he gets aggressive, Jake Paul might just hurt him more. So I got Jake Paul. Jake Paul's the Jake Paul show is gonna continue. He He had a belt today to the press conference, the most valuable belt, because he says he's the most valuable boxer out there. So they're going to be fighting maybe for that most valuable belt, or maybe he just keeps it. I'm not sure. But Jake Paul is a spectacle, and I hope it continues. I don't want Tyron Woodley to be the one that finishes that, man. Let's keep the Jake Paul show going.
I mean, it would keep going if Woodley beats him here. I think we have a trilogy fight, which is not that appealing after seeing the first one. I really see this one going exactly the way the last one went, with Jake Paul getting a decision. You know, maybe Woodley can press the action a little bit and maybe hurt Paul, maybe knock him out. I think it would be fun to see. There is a $500,000 bonus in the contract if Woodley can knock him out. Woodley gets $500,000 to knock out Jake Paul if he is successful. So that is something. It's something. I just don't see it happening. I think we have AJ back. AJ, we're doing the watch along Saturday night. I'm not exactly sure what time. Probably like 10:30, 11 o'clock for the Tyron Woodley Jake Paul fight. We're not doing all the boxing matches beforehand because I really don't give a shit. So we'll see the Woodley Paul spectacle and we'll watch it along with you here. All the boys on the Ringside Report Network. AJ, I know you're very excited for that one again.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Jesus. What the hell, man? Bruce Springsteen is after us, man.
Yeah. Do you
happened
have a different result coming up on Saturday night for Woodley and Paul, or you basically see it going like Freddie and I seeing it with Jake Paul
What did you
taking
guys say?
home an easy decision, kind of like the last one? I don't see this fight being different than the last fight.
Look, you know what? The only thing that I can say is a bit of a difference is that $500,000 knockout thing. If Woodley is able to knock out Jake Paul, he'll get $500,000 because of all this like hearsay that in the contract he wasn't allowed to knock him out in the first fight, whatever, blah blah. So just to like squash that rumor, there's $500,000 on the table. I still think Jake Paul is gonna like honestly, even I don't want to say knock out Tyron, but he's had a lot more practice and build up for the second fight. Like, you know what? It's a different story, man. You fought Tyron Woodley, a former like UFC like champion, you know, one of the best hitters in the game, and he couldn't even do any damage to Jake Paul. So honestly speaking, if it was an MMA fight, it would be a completely different thing. I'd be like, Jake Paul is gonna get smashed in like under 2 minutes. Let's be honest. But being a boxing fight, the kid is actually showing some pretty good boxing skills, which was unheard of way back when we were talking about this kid. But honestly, he was able to do, damage to Ben Askren. He was able to do damage to Tyron Woodley. And I can't see Tyron Woodley outboxing Jake Paul at this point. And to be honest, I hope he gets knocked out. I hope Jake Paul knocks out Tyron just for the hell of it, because he pissed me off on the last fight. I'm not going with Woodley. And I don't care about the $500,000. Woodley's not knocking out Jake Paul.
I remember that. AJ, you were so behind Woodley before the fight, and I was telling you Jake Paul was going to beat him, and it was going to be easy. And you were like, no, Dave, you're crazy. It's a common theme when we're picking fights, AJ? You say I'm crazy, and you wind up being wrong at the end of the night.
Especially like these crazy, like these really like big showcase fights, like we saw with Amanda and Pena. I mean, I wasn't the only one behind you. Freddie thought you were nuts too, and like pretty much like 99% of the world. But the thing is, with the Tyron Woodley thing too,
you were
most
so
people
mad.
Didn't think Woodley.
I don't think you've ever been that
mad.
mad. I've never seen you that mad. You were so mad at Woodley, just shitting all over him because you picked him to win. You said he was going to knock out Jake Paul. It's going to be easy. And then he got just completely outmatched in the ring. And you were so mad, and you got progressively angrier as the fight went on. I think Woodley could knock out Jake Paul this time. He had that moment where he was on him and he hurt him, and there was a moment. It's possible. A fight is a fight.
Look,
anything can happen, but I just, it was mostly all Jake Paul last time. Woodley had a couple of moments in the fight, but it was, really one-sided. I don't see it going any way different this time.
But isn't that crazy when you really think about it? Here we got this guy who's a YouTuber that is actually outclassing like professional athletes. And you know what? He outclassed Woodley. Yeah, there was a point where Woodley got him with a body shot, and it looked like he crumpled, and it looked like people were saying, oh, Woodley was trying to hold him up or keep him up or that kind of stuff, whatever. The truth is that Woodley couldn't knock him out. Was he trying? Was he not trying? I mean, it looked like he was trying at certain points. Was there this clause that he couldn't knock out Jake Paul? If that's true, well, that's going to be like this on Saturday coming up. But I just think that Jake Paul is like a really good boxer. I mean, Fury, I should say, was not coming into this fight. Not Tyson. Tyson would probably do a serious damage. But that's another thing, is that when you're looking at Jake Paul, he's a big guy, man. He's a much bigger opponent than Tyron Woodley. He's a much bigger opponent than Ben Askren. I mean, he fights guys that he can like sort of overstand. But his boxing skills are actually pretty damn good. Matt Kazavan would probably say the same thing. If you have to look at him, aside the fact that he's a YouTuber, if you look at him as a boxer, listen, you can't deny him. The guy has the best coaches, the money to be able to train this guy 7 days a week to get his skills to a level that he can box, at a competitive level. I'm not saying that he boxes, I don't know, man, like Triple G, or he tries to get crazy with anybody that's relevant in boxing at this moment. It's a different story. You can't go up against a boxer who is like in top shape, at the top of his game. Jake Paul is at a good competitive level for like, intermediate fighters. But like real pro boxers, man, forget it, man. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen against some of the elite in boxing. But it's going to happen against guys like Tyron Woodley that couldn't like outbox like in almost 3 years. He couldn't do anything. Like, it was a disaster. So he won against Woodley, and I think he's going to win again. And I hope he wins again, because you know what? Woodley got me so upset for the embarrassment. You have everything on the line, man. If you got paid to look like a fool, then you deserve to be looking like a fool if Jake Paul knocks you out on Saturday. And I hope Jake does.
Well, we will see. We will be watching the fight with you live here on the Ringside Report Network on Saturday night. Paul
we're
versus
doing it.
Woodley, too. Yeah, we're doing it.
Oh, yeah, man.
Fred wanted to. Fred wanted to do it.
Fred is in?
Yeah,
Whoa.
Fred's in. We're all in. Conor McGregor and Charles Oliveira seem to be talking about fighting each other. Charles Oliveira, of course, fresh off his UFC lightweight title defense over Dustin Poirier on Saturday night. Everybody's saying Justin Gaethje is next. Gaethje seems to want the shot. He seems to be the man for the job. Dana White seems to be saying, yep. But Charles Oliveira is saying, well, if I could fight Conor McGregor, I'd rather fight him. Which makes sense. Like, if you're the champion, should you have to fight the number one contender, or should you be able to fight Conor McGregor and make that money?
Take the money,
I mean,
man.
I think in the end, that's a UFC decision. If they feel like somebody has enough cachet, like Conor McGregor, to jump over everybody, Conor would probably be that guy. But at the same time, man, he's really on a bad streak. So I don't see the UFC giving him a title shot, because I think it'd be the reception to that news would not be great. And the UFC know that. Like, if they were to announce Conor McGregor gets a title shot, a lot of people would be like, what is this? Like,
yeah.
And I don't
Not
think that's
really,
what the
Freddie.
UFC want.
You think so? Or would it be the other way around, where Dana White just cares about one thing?
I mean,
the almighty
AJ
dollar?
would be happy.
Come on.
Yeah.
I would be happy, and a lot of McGregor fans and McGregor's army would be behind him. Even the haters would want to see that and see him like lose. But you know what? No matter what happens, whenever Conor goes to whatever fight, championship fight, fighting Poirier, he's going to break the pay-per-view bank. There's no doubt about it. The guy sells pay-per-views.
Sure.
More than anyone.
Yeah, we
Let's be
understand
honest.
that he sells pay-per-views. But honestly, Fred, if we're going to waste time with Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira, why not put Conor in there?
Not wasting time.
It's
Not
wasting
wasting
time. We are wasting
Why?
time until we get Islam Makhachev in there with the world champion. We are delaying the inevitable until we get Islam Makhachev in there with Oliveira or Gaethje or whoever. We're delaying. We're wasting time. That's how I feel. I feel like everything is a waste at 155 pounds. I feel like the fight that we just saw was totally pointless. I feel about the Poirier-Oliveira fight the same way I felt about the Glover Teixeira-Jan Blachowicz fight. Whoever comes out as the champion at the end of the night doesn't really matter, because there are there's a guy, if not two guys, in the division who could beat them, and I'm pretty damn convinced of it. And that's how I feel with Islam Makhachev right now. I feel like he is the number one lightweight in the UFC, and he's just not getting the title shot because, it's not his turn. It's not his turn. He hasn't beat the ranked guys to get the – fuck that. He's the best. Let him in there. And if you don't think he's the best, well, let him prove that he's not the best. Prove it, Oliveira. Prove it, Justin Gaethje. Prove it. If you don't think Islam Makhachev is the best right now in the division, prove it and fight him. But they don't want to fight him because he's not highly touted enough, or he's too dangerous. If it was fucking easy, if you thought it'd be easy, you'd fight him. But you don't want to fight him because it's too dangerous. Oliveira would rather fight Conor McGregor than Islam Makhachev because Conor's less dangerous and he makes more money. Islam is a losing proposition. And I feel, Fred, I get it. I know what you're saying. Gaethje's good. Oliveira's good. Makhachev is maybe unproven, but the way I see it, I see Islam as the best at 155, and we're just wasting time until we get him in there for the belt.
I mean, you're allowed to that opinion, but with that said, he hasn't fought that many guys, man. Justin Gaethje deserves the next title shot, man. I believe he deserves it. Look, if it's Islam, I'll be happy. I remember when John Jones was going up the ranks, I used to say, like, to me, he's already the champion. If you want to be late to the party, that's on you. And look, maybe it's the same thing for Islam, but I think Gaethje deserves the next title shot. Like back in the days, I thought Rashad deserved the title shot, but John Jones ended up jumping over because I think Rashad got injured or something. And, like in the end, it's not always the guy that deserves the shot that get it. And you got to be ready when time comes. So who knows? Maybe Islam will be the one there, but I feel like Justin is the guy that should get the title shot.
Who do you think wins a fight between Islam and Gaethje? If they were to fight today, who do you think would win?
Hands down, Islam. There's no doubt about it.
That's what I'm saying.
Probably Islam.
Yeah.
Probably Islam. But
that's my point.
Come on, man.
That's my point. How about Oliveira? Oliveira and Islam. How about the world champion right now in Islam Makhachev? Who would you pick?
Man, that's going to be so tough.
I would take Islam.
I'm high on the Oliveira right now.
It's man, that's a tough one to call right now. But I'll be honest, man. If you look at guys like Khabib is like, he wants Islam to fight for the title. He thinks he deserves the title and whatnot. And you're talking about Conor. Conor was like dissing Dagestan and dissing Islam as not being the guy that deserves the shot, and it should be like him. But let's be honest, Islam is up there. If you have to like sit back and like, even for myself, to sit back and kind of like ponder on who would win between Islam and Oliveira after what we saw Oliveira do on Saturday, shows you how good Islam is.
Yeah.
It's like the guy is, if he doesn't get Oliveira for whatever reason, we can really agree on one thing, that Islam is going to be a future champion at some point in 2022. At some point in 2022 or the latest 2023, Islam is going to be the king.
Yeah, I think it'll be 2022. I think it'll be, next year he'll be the world champion, and that's kind of my point. It's that I think that he's the best, and I don't, and all of us, even Fred, you think Gaethje should get the next shot, but you would still pick Islam over Gaethje, and that's kind of my point. It's like, I just want the best possible guys fighting for the belt to see who is the best, and I think, like, to me, if I were putting the matches together in the UFC, I would put Islam in there against Oliveira over Gaethje, because I think, Gaethje might beat Oliveira, whatever, but I just think Islam is probably better than both of them, and I'd like to see that proven. And if he isn't, well, then fine, and then we'll move on and see Gaethje or Oliveira's long run. I could be wrong about Oliveira. I was on Saturday night. I thought he would lose to Dustin Poirier. Maybe he beats Islam Makhachev, but I'd like to see it. I feel like Islam is the number one contender. I feel like he's the most interesting contender. We saw Gaethje fight for a belt. I agree. It didn't go his way. Khabib destroyed him, And Islam's very similar style. I see it go in a similar way.
And you know what could be interesting, Dave? You're right. If he fights Oliveira, which would be a massive fight to watch, it would probably be on top of like a pay-per-view like winner. There's no doubt about it. But if Islam takes the belt, he would be defending it, and he could defend it against anybody out there. It could be Gaethje. It could be Oliveira again. It could be whoever.
Conor.
Poirier. Conor. The thing is that if he's sitting on the top of that throne, which I think he will at some point, now it becomes interesting because Islam, in my opinion, is the type of fighter that's going to go as far as Khabib went. He's going to be exactly like Khabib, sitting on that throne, defending that title throughout his career and retiring. That's how dangerous he is. Look, Oliveira looked amazing on Saturday. There's no doubt about it. This guy, man, his story, his growth. I mean, there were certain periods in his life, like 2015 to 2017, if I'm not mistaken, where it wasn't that great of a career. But, man, on Saturday, he looks like a champion. There's no doubt about it. But the thing with Islam is he's coming, and he's right there on your doorstep. And the guy is so damn dangerous, man. And if he's able to get that fight with Oliveira and beat him, man, look at everybody behind that'll be trying to get that belt from him. And if he can beat everybody, he'll be considered the greatest fighter of that division.
Yeah. Yes,
just under Khabib.
If you could beat everybody, you will definitely be highly ranked, and people.
The only thing he does no.
If he can beat everybody, he'll be looked at as the greatest. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you could say that, but I'm just saying is that you still have Khabib that's overshadowing him, even as a coach who never lost, right?
Yeah.
So he's that's what I'm saying is that the guy is that amazing, man. If Khabib wasn't there, he would probably be considered the best of all time of that division. But let's wait. Let's wait for him to
brakes.
get that.
He hasn't done anything really yet.
But he's coming.
That's it. Give him a title shot. That's what I say. I would like to see that. But it seems like Justin Gaethje will get Oliveira next. Jon Jones looks like he will be able to fight in 2022. He had his domestic violence charge dismissed.
What?
Yep, the charge was dismissed, and he had to, and he pled no contest for the damage to the police vehicle, which he headbutted a police car during his arrest in Vegas a few months ago.
I didn't know that.
And he's being
headbutted the car. Wow.
Ordered to pay about $750 for the damage to the car, and that's it. A fine. I think he's going to have to do some anger management, and that's it. That's it. Free to fight. No jail time. Another slap on the wrist from the legal system for Johnny Bones Jones. How many times can you slap a man on the wrist before you finally get wrist control? I mean, god damn. This guy's got a lot of slaps on the wrist.
Big time. I mean, if you did the same shit that he did, or Freddie, or definitely me,
we'd be in jail.
Man, we'd be in jail, man.
Yeah.
I'd be serving time, with Captain Crunch and the boys. And that's the difference, man. There's no way, man. I don't know how he gets away with this shit. And you know why? Because he's
rich.
Jon Jones.
No, he's rich. He's rich and famous.
And he's Jon Jones.
That's how he gets away with
Jon
it.
Jones.
Because he's rich and famous. You see a lot of, African-American guys going to jail for life for nothing in the States. Jon Jones.
Yeah, exactly, man.
He's rich and famous, so he has, it's different rules for him. Which is maybe not so bad because he shouldn't go to jail for life for these things. A lot of people are over-incarcerated in the United States, but Jon Jones may be under-penalized for all of his misdeeds. $750 to a multimillionaire Johnny Bones Jones doesn't really make a difference. So,
dude, he spends that in a strip joint in a matter of 10 minutes.
Like a blip on the. Are you kidding me? He tried to get $10,000 to go to the strip joint. $10,000 he takes to the strip club with him. $10,000. You imagine that? What can you get for $10,000 at a strip club? Like, what happens?
I could take a wild guess, but I'd probably get in trouble.
I think you just.
I can imagine, but
don't you just make it rain? You just throw it around. It's all in
ones.
Well,
I like to be in that club if he's doing that, man.
Well, it's for It's not for you. It's for the ladies performing, AJ. If you take the money,
I'm going to tell you, Dave. I'm going to tell you something. If he's throwing money in the air in a strip joint, I can assure you, man, I'm going in there, man. I see Jon Jones. I'm taking that money.
It's not for you. It's like you're stealing money from the strippers.
For all I care.
And
I'll dance for him for like 10 minutes.
They usually frown upon that. I've seen that happen, and the security guards usually come in and make sure that doesn't happen because you're stealing from the strippers.
So I won't get the Jon Jones treatment, like the slap on the wrist.
No.
Probably a broken wrist.
Jon Jones doesn't just.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you.
See, Jon Jones gets a slap on the wrist, but when he slaps somebody, we all remember where he slaps you, right? Right on the vagina. Remember that? He slapped that stripper on her vagina,
well,
and she said she said that wasn't right because he was supposed to pay her for that and he didn't pay her.
Exactly.
That was
exactly.
And then Fred was like, yeah, you got to pay me to slap me in the dick. Remember that, Fred?
Yeah, I remember that. And then Freddie took a challenge. He said for $100, he'll take it, man. Slap
for
nuts.
$100, Fred will get slapped in the dick. Maybe we'll do that. All right, guys. Derrick Lewis versus Chris Daukaus. Balls is hot. Oof. Derrick Lewis, he's fighting on Saturday night. It's the main event of this UFC Vegas card, the final fight night in the Apex, the final UFC show of 2021. It's been a weird year again. Daukaus. Lewis coming in right now as a slight underdog, which I like. I like that. I'm surprised, too. Daukaus is good. Daukaus is solid, but I don't see him at the Derrick Lewis level. He's come off, some nice knockout wins over some decent talent, Alexei Oleinik, Shamil Abdurakhimov. But those are two guys in their 40s. And Derrick Lewis, a little bit younger, still in his prime, and still very dangerous. Coming off a TKO loss to Cyril Gane in his last fight for the UFC Heavyweight Championship. But before that, coming off wins over Curtis Blades, Alexei Oleinik, Ilir Latifi, and the list goes on. I've got Derrick Lewis in this fight. A little bit surprised that he's coming in as the underdog. Lewis right now, plus 116 over at Bet99.com. Chris Daukaus, minus 143. I think Lewis wins this fight, especially over 5 rounds. I like that this fight is 5 rounds for Derrick Lewis. It gives him more times to land that one punch. And if I've seen anything from Derrick Lewis, is that power stays. It doesn't go away. He can knock you out in the first, just like he can knock you out in the 5th. And Derrick Lewis could be losing every single round in a fight and come back and win it with one single punch. I'm surprised he's an underdog going into this fight with Daukaus. This is Daukaus' biggest fight of his life. This is the biggest step up in competition he has ever faced. I think the Black Beast takes him out. Another knockout for Derrick Lewis.
Man, it's a tough one, but I'm going back and forth on this one because Daukaus, if you got to look at him, if you're looking at a striker, he's a way better striker than Lewis. The only thing with Lewis is you're absolutely right. If you can avoid that 25 minutes of that heavy power hand that can knock you out, even when he looks like he's about to die, he comes out with this magic hit that knocks out anybody. Daukaus can survive. But the thing is that the thing with Lewis is that he's got these weird kicks, man. He's got amazing kicks for a heavyweight. And when he starts hurting you, man, which he's going to hurt Daukaus at some point. If he can continue with that barrage, he's going to win. It's just that, like they say, on paper, Daukaus is a better striker. He moves a lot faster. He's able to get in there and hurt Lewis. But something about Lewis, like you said, for 25 minutes is the type of guy that can knock you out with that one punch. He's just looking for that one shot. In 25 minutes, he'll get it. But in between, he's going to hurt you. And if he's able to open you up, he's going to knock you out. I was going to go with Daukaus at the beginning of the week. But now, as of tonight, man, I'm going with Dave on this. I'm going with Lewis. I think Lewis is the underdog, but he's going to come out with the win.
Freddie?
I'm going to go also with Lewis. I think, like you said, Dave, he's dangerous for 5 rounds, and he's going to end up getting a big punch. With that said, the other guy, man, Daukaus, he's got a nice little streak going on, man. Maybe, he pulls it off. But no, I think Lewis has faced bigger competition. He's defeated some good competition. So I'm going to go with Derrick Lewis getting a knockout. Maybe somewhere around round 3 or 4 when things start slowing down and he's still, very powerful.
Yep. I think it happens maybe earlier than that, maybe the 2nd round, 3rd round, something like that. But I like Derrick Lewis, so we have it here unanimous. And I think that's the best bet on the night.
Oh, yeah.
I really do. I think that's your best bet all night at this card. Looking up and down, I've kind of looked at the odds on different things, and I think there's some people that I believe will win, but maybe the odds aren't as great. I really like this Derrick Lewis bet. I would bet this as a solo bet. You bet a few bucks on Derrick Lewis, you're going to come out a winner on Saturday night. You bet, say you bet $20 on Derrick Lewis, you double your money and then some. $20 at bet99.com at plus 116 on Derrick Lewis gets you 43.33. That's not bad.
It's a good bet.
It's a solid bet.
Out.
And we all have it. Like, we're all going with the underdog pick here in Derrick Lewis. So that tells you something. We're all going with the Black Beast in the main event coming up on Saturday night. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson taking on Belal Muhammad in the co-main event. Wonderboy coming off a decision loss to Gilbert Burns. Belal Muhammad coming off a couple victories here. He's won quite a few, actually, in a row. 5 wins in a row with 1 no contest in that Leon Edwards fight. I think this is going to be a tough fight, though, for Belal Muhammad. I don't know. I think he's going to be a little bit undersized. I think Wonderboy's reach and length will help him. His movement as well. Wonderboy's a really tough fighter to figure out, especially over 3 rounds. You know, it's a short amount of time. I think Wonderboy easily wins 2 of 3 rounds and gets a decision here over Belal Muhammad. I don't think he puts him away. Belal is tough. He's been knocked out before, but not for a while. I don't think Belal Muhammad goes to sleep, but I think Stephen Wonderboy Thompson scores enough points and gets a decision victory on Saturday. He is a pretty solid favorite, minus 225. Muhammad plus 180, the underdog.
Yeah, it's a tough one too because Belal is definitely a warrior. I still can't forget the eye poke that almost I'll never forget that scene where he got eye poked and it looked like he was gone. I thought he lost his eye. He was crying. It was a disturbing scene seeing Belal crying in the ring, thinking that his career is over because he lost his eye. But he came back in no time and came back and he looked good. The thing is that he's fighting Thompson with such experience, and just a bigger guy. Because if you look at the overall stats here, you're looking at Thompson with a 75-inch reach, Belal at a 72-inch reach. Height-wise, like you said, 6 feet for Thompson and 5'11" for Belal. Not that makes a difference, but it does make a difference when you have somebody like Thompson, who's such a rangy fighter, man. He's just amazing at everything he does. I mean, this guy has been always one of my favorites to watch fighting. And I think he has enough in his arsenal and his experience to beat Belal. Because, Belal is a tough guy, man. He's going to keep going at you. Regardless of that eye poke, man, he's always he tries to get into that pocket and make it a difficult fight. But with Thompson, man, he's so good, man. Getting out of that pocket, finding his range, and then just unleashing. And I think this is a good fight for Thompson and a good fight for him to win.
Yep. I like Wonderboy. Freddie, making it unanimous?
Yeah, Wonderboy by decision. Muhammad is very tough, and he'll take a lot of the damage, but Wonderboy is going to fight smartly and stay away. He's going to hit him from far and not get hit. So I got Wonderboy winning by decision.
Other fights on this card, you got Amanda Lemos taking on Angela Hill. Lemos coming in as a pretty solid favorite in that one. Rafael Asuncao taking on my brother from somebody else, Ricky Simone. Mateus Gamrot takes on Carlos Diego Ferreira. Cub Swanson and Darren Elkins fighting. Couple featherweight veterans there. And a bunch of prelims. One prelim that we're definitely looking at, of course, our main man, Charles Jourdain. Montreal's own Charles Jourdain taking on Andre
a good one,
Ewell. And I'm going to throw Charles Jourdain on my parlay. Let's get to Team Dave's parlay, and then we'll see what AJ and Freddie have for you. I'm going to give you a 5-fight parlay tonight here, guys. And it goes a little something like this. We're going to go with Charles Jourdain, minus 193. We're going to start it off with Derrick Lewis, plus 116. Then we're going to go down to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson over here at minus 225. We're going to keep it going with Darren Elkins, slight underdog over Cub Swanson, plus 157. Charles Jourdain, like I said, minus 193, the favorite. And Justin Taffa, I like him for a big win over Harry Hunsucker. Minus 335 is Taffa, big favorite in his fight. $20 on that 5-fight parlay gets you $318.06, plus $14.90 the odds over at bet99.com. That's the Team Dave parlay. Derrick Lewis, Wonderboy Thompson, Darren Elkins, Charles Jourdain, and Justin Taffa. 20 gets you 318. Team Dave, hur, hur, hur. Freddie, you got a 2-fight parlay for me? What you got?
I got a 4-fight parlay, man.
Ooh.
It's a little similar to yours, but not quite. I got Derrick Lewis, Stephen Thompson, and Darren Elkins, because I do agree, Darren Elkins as an underdog against Swanson, I think that's a good matchup for him, maybe.
Yep.
Maybe he gets it to the ground, top position, win some round. So I like those three. And I'll tell you what other fight I like. I don't like your brother from whatever. I'm going to go with Asuncao at plus 220, which is kind of a nice odd, I think, for Asuncao. So I got Derrick Lewis, Stephen Thompson, Asuncao, and Darren Elkins.
Asuncao is the only guy to lose to who's that guy that got knocked out last week? What's his name? He was bantamweight champion. You know what I'm talking about, tattoo. Cody Garbrandt. Asuncao is the only guy to lose to him in like 5 years. That's why I'm staying away from him. Makes me wonder. But that is Freddie's parlay. He's going with Derrick Lewis, Wonderboy Thompson, Darren Elkins. I like that parlay right there. I think we just stay with that. If it's on yours and it's on mine, that seems good. Lewis, Wonderboy, and Elkins, right? Like, if they're on both our parlays, those seem like really solid bets. And then he's also throwing Rafael Asuncao in there, plus 220. $20 gets you $515. Good God almighty. Over at bet99.com, use that promo code ringside when you sign up to get a matching deposit bonus of up to $600. So that is Team Fred going with Lewis, Wonderboy, Elkins, and Asuncao. AJ, you're in the hot seat, baby.
All
What
right.
do you got?
I'm in the hot seat, man. So I'm going to go with, obviously, Derrick Lewis,
Wow.
followed by Wonderboy, as we were saying.
Wow.
And then I'm going to go with Amanda Lemos, man. Amanda Lemos is just power, man. She's going to knock out Angela Hill. I'm not going to go and put the KO on that because it could go like to a decision victory, but she's going to be on my straight win. Then I'm going to go with Dave's cousin, Ricky Simon, because if you look at Ricky, first of all, his wrestling is super powerful. There's no way Asuncao is going to be able to handle Ricky Simon's like wrestling and grappling power, and I think Ricky's going to end up winning this. And then I'm going to go with the Gamrot, man. The Gamrot is there for my win. And then I'm going to go with Cub Swanson on that main card. Yep, I'm going with Cub Swanson, man, on this one. He's a better striker, man. Let's be honest. He's a better striker than Elkins. And I'm going with Cub Swanson on this one for the win. And then I'm going to go to my preliminary card. And, of course, you know who I'm going with. I think we're looking at Charles Jourdain. Charles Jourdain, this is such an easy fight for him. This guy, well, man, he doesn't have the hands or the striking power. The guys that he's fought and lost to, man, like when it comes to striking, Charles Jourdain is going to destroy this guy. And I really mean it. I think Jourdain's going to go in there. Man, his training was awesome. I seen it up close. The guy is looking so good. But he needs this win. It's a do or die, as they're saying, for the UFC. He needs this win. He's been so unlucky in his last fight sometimes where I thought he won and he didn't get that win. But he's always been exciting. If you're looking for an action fight, Jourdain's going to deliver. And I think he's going to deliver with the win on this one. So that's how I'm starting with. I hope I don't lose it right off the bat. But Jourdain is going to be mine for the prelims. I was going to go with Sijara Eubanks, but I'm going to stay away from that because, you know, starting off with Jourdain and the rest of that main card.
Are you done with the 7-fight parlay? 7 fights.
Yeah, man, that's it.
Derrick Lewis, Wonderboy Thompson, Amanda Lemos, Ricky Simon, Mateusz Gamrot, Cub Swanson, and Charles Jourdain. $20 gets you $385.36. Picked a lot of favorites. I did. 7 fights though. I mean, $20 to win $385 is pretty good. 7-fight parlay from AJ. Wow.
Look, these are the type of fights, man. You know, where you take a long parlay. It's the last fight card of the year. You know, sometimes underdogs come out. I think Derrick Lewis is that kind of underdog in a sense.
He's the best pick on the card. He's the best pick on the card.
He's the
Everybody
best pick,
I've
but all the
spoken
rest
to has taken Derrick Lewis. All the people whose opinions that I trust, everybody I've talked to, you guys, anybody that knows anything about fighting, everybody's picking Derrick Lewis, and he's the underdog. That's the bet. That's where we win money. Merry Christmas.
Yep. Exactly, man.
All right.
Let's hope we win it, man.
Angelo dropped the super chat. Thank you, Angelo. He's got a question for us. What is our fight of the year for 2021? I have no answer for that. I think maybe next week or the week after we'll do a year in review type of show, but I don't have I don't have an answer for fight of the year. What was fight of the year?
Well, let's wait for.
So
let's,
I
let's
watch
wait
a million
for the last...
fights. I don't know. I have no idea.
Man, there is.
Didn't we have a
we'll
great
pick
fight
about,
recently? Everybody was saying Gaethje and Chandler. Wasn't that the fight everybody
Yeah.
loved?
It was pretty short.
Man,
No?
there's so many.
Or did they go all three? They went all three, right? I
Yeah,
don't even remember. I don't know. I don't have a good recollection of what was the best.
too many fights.
Too many fights. I don't know.
You can look at Volkanovski versus Ortega. There's so many, man. There's Yan versus Sanhagen, Oliveira versus Chandler. I mean, you could keep going, man.
I
There's
liked
so many, but
the Moreno-Figueiredo rematch. That was a
that
good
was
one.
a good one. That was a good one. I like that one.
I'd say maybe that one. All right? Put me on the spot here, Angelo. I'm going to say Moreno-Figueiredo 2.
Wait. Don't say it yet, because we don't know what's going to happen on Saturday's card. Because Saturday's card could be like one of the best fights of the year. So we'll have to wait till Saturday, and then from there we'll make our decision.
Okay.
And to be honest, man, there's so many other fights that are not even like listed. You know, yeah, we'll give you that answer next week, Angelo. I like that. I like that question.
Listed?
Well, there's certain fights that are listed already for other people that look at like the best fights of the year, but
okay.
The Figueiredo fight is not even up there.
I don't know where you're getting your shit from. It's fantastic. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for supporting the Ringside Report Network as you do. Appreciate you. Thank you, Antoinette. Thank you, Angelo Contagonis. Thank you, Patrick C. Hamilton. Thank you to everybody who is a member of the team, everybody supporting the Ringside Report Network. I will be back here tomorrow night with Johnny North at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right after WWE SmackDown. We'll be watching AEW Rampage with you, and we will be recapping everything that happens on SmackDown tomorrow night. And then Freddie and AJ and I will be back on Saturday night for the Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley watch-along, and we'll also talk to you about the UFC that's happening. We'll see if AJ's right or Dave's parlay is right. We'll see how much money we're winning or losing. And we will talk to you also about Woodley and Paul, the rematch coming up Saturday night. We will be back here for the watch-along of that on Saturday. And that's it. That is it. Are we back next week? Are we back next week on Festivus? Fred, I know you said you were off at some point in the holidays. Is it next week or the week after? Or are you not off at all? Am I imagining things?
Yeah, you're mistaking something else.
That's somebody else. I don't know.
But hey, there's no UFC for like a month, so if you want guys, like I'm always down for vacation, man. Vacation's great.
No, next week we have to have a Festivus special. Next week is Festivus.
Yeah, the Festivus vacation.
Yeah, maybe the week after that we take vacation. I don't know. But next week is our Festivus special. Get ready. It's going to be very, very exciting. Can't wait for Festivus next week. Next Thursday is Festivus, so I hope you're all ready. Hope you got your pole and your feats of strength prepared, because I will be airing my grievances.
Against AJ?
I'll be airing my grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people, and you're going to hear about it.
I love it, man.
All right.
Hey, listen, man.
Kruger, my son tells me your company stinks. Kruger.
George.
Thank you, Angelo, dropping a super chat. Great show, guys. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you, Angelo. And with that, he takes the lead for the super chat. Leader of the night. All right, next week for Festivus, guys. We'll be here. We'll be ready. And that's it. That's it.
Are you going to bring like a fruit cake or something?
Yeah, I got you, fruitcake.
Have a fruitcake on air. Is it kosher? Yes or no?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know.
I don't think so.
You never know, bud.
All right.
You never know.
Thanks, everybody. We will see you again. I'll see you again tomorrow night, and all three of us will be back here on Saturday night to watch the Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley rematch for some reason.
Angelo's favorite.
All right. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to check out some of our new merch over at ringsidereport.net/shop, ringsidereport.net/shop. New merch, some stuff even designed by me. I am getting into designing some shirts.
What are you, Versace?
I mean, I wish I was Versace.
Dave Versace?
I mean, alive.
Well, I don't know. I was going to say Dave. I'm not sure, man. They made a Netflix.
It wasn't a Netflix.
Was really good,
it was on FX.
Was it FX? Whatever, man. It was amazing. That guy, man, Versace,
I've never seen that one.
actor, it's one of the best, man. That was amazing. Great actor, man. What a great actor.
I might watch it.
I'm not
after
talking
your
about Versace.
review.
I'm telling you, Freddie, you're going to love it. In fact, I'm going to watch it again. It was that good.
I'm not seeing the new.
You don't even know
shirt,
how to watch it again.
But look at this shirt right here, guys. I mean, this is a
You're
shirt
probably right, Freddie.
that you
You're
all want.
probably right.
What?
Freddie,
I say you don't even know how to watch it again.
That's true. Look at this sweet
AJ
shirt.
wouldn't know where
What
to go.
is that? You made that?
Look at that. That's available on our website right now. The Smiling Johnny shirt. Whoop, where did it go? Uh-oh.
Well, you should have put his name. He looks like some kind of predator there, man.
Yeah, well, so what? Look at him.
You should have
That's
called
pretty
it
good.
like Johnny. Like
The Smiling Johnny shirt. It's good. It's
that's
good.
it's
Available
a rare occurrence.
right
You should've
now.
called it-
At ringsidereport.net/shop. Get it right now.
You should have called it the Yeti shirt, man, because to see Johnny smile is like trying to find the Yeti, man.
Yeah, it's like
Is
not.
that after calling somebody out for not wearing a mask? Is that when
No.
he smiles?
No. It's after I make fun of him and I
Johnny's
do,
back
Johnny.
in business.
so
Hey,
when
listen,
I
Johnny's
do
back
the
in
Johnny
business
North
as of
impression.
Monday.
Is he? Yeah.
For sure, he's back in business. This is the happiest day for Johnny. He's back on the trenches. He's gonna be calling Legault or texting him and hashtagging him like nonstop as of Monday. Johnny, start the clock, man.
All right, guys. I'll be back here tomorrow night after SmackDown with Johnny, and then Freddie and AJ will be back with me Saturday night for the thing. Okay? Thank you. Like the video. Subscribe. See ya later.